Okay guys, I'm going to try to make this video quick. So, in a real life scenario, here we have an example about a catapult. And here's an equation for the height and the time. So h is the height, t is the time. So on this one, if I want to know how high the object is after 3 seconds, they've given me time. So I plug that in for t. All I have to do is just plug that in my calculator and I get an answer of 39 feet. That was easy enough, just plug in. But on this one, I want to know height. If I don't know height, if I do know height, I plug that in for h and I don't know t. I'm looking for time. So this one, I can't use solve for by squares. Factoring is not going to be easy, so I'm going to use quadratic formula. But in order to pick A, B, and C and use the quadratic formula, I must have it equal to 0. It really does not matter which side the zero's on. So I just chose to move everything to this side, do the opposite, get it equal to 0. You could have done the other side and still gotten the same answer, I promise. So here's my A, B, and C. Plug it into the quadratic formula. When you do that, please be careful that negative negative b actually turns out to positive. On this one, I don't want a weird simplified radical answer. To know seconds, I need a rounded decimal. So let's use our calculator. And if you've been paying any attention to the communications I have sent out into your directions, you have downloaded a free calculator app by now, and you can go alpha y equals inner and put it in as a fraction. So 25, I can't put plus or minus in my calculator. I pick one, I do them one at a time. I typically do the plus first, but it really doesn't matter. Square root, whoops, Mrs. Jones has now hit the wrong thing. Sorry about that, guys. Square root of negative 25 squared minus 4ac over 2a. Now this takes a little time to plug in, but the good news is, so there we have like 5.6 seconds. The good news is that when I want the second answer, all I have to do is arrow up and highlight this, hit enter to copy it, left arrow all the way over to the plus sign, and just type a minus over it. Now I didn't have to retype the whole thing. Boom, I have my second answer, my minus answer. So my second answer is, I'm going to round it to 7/10 of a second. Now, why do I have two answers? Because this is a catapult. I launch the object and it hits 15 feet on the way up, hits it again on the way down. So it hit it twice. Now on this one, 95 feet high, do you see, I hope you can see with me to save some time, that if I solve this by quadratic formula, the only thing that is changing is the 15 is changing to a 95. So my A is 4, my B is negative 25, my C is 95 instead of 15. Therefore, I don't have to type the whole thing in again. Go up here, highlight, enter, left arrow, and change your 15 to a 95. Hit enter. Oh my goodness, Mrs. Jones, why did I get an error? Well, I don't know. Let's go back and copy it again. Actually, I do know. I'm just kidding. And I'm going to go all the way back over here, and I'm going to change that to a plus sign. Oh, Mrs. Jones, I got an error again. All right, let's use some common sense here for a minute. If it hit 15 feet on the way up at nearly a second here, and then a little bit after 5 seconds it hit 15 again, do you think this thing really ever went up to 95 feet? My goodness, that kid built quite the catapult if it went to 95 feet. So when does it get 95 feet high? Never. It never gets that high. So that's why you got errors in the calculator, and just kind of use some logic there to see how that would not happen. Okay, when will the object hit the ground? Okay, when, I want to know time. That's my when. When will it hit the ground? What's the height on the ground? The height on the ground is 0. Okay, so really, if I wanted to use the quadratic formula again, I could use my same numbers I got before, and the only thing that changes is this time C is 0. So let's just use our same thing in the calculator. This time, the only thing that's going to change is that 95 is going to change to a 0. 25/4. Huh. When will it hit the ground? 25/4 seconds. That doesn't tell you anything, does it? So let's go math, go down to decimal, hit enter, enter, and change it to a decimal. So we got after 6 1/4 seconds, right? Now, I happen to do the right answer first on this one. Do I need the second answer? No, because your second answer is going to be 0, right? It's on the ground when it started. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they built the catapult on a platform. But at any rate, we only need one answer for when it hit the ground. And it hit the ground after 6 seconds. So this is what you're going to be doing on your assignment today. You're going to be solving mostly using the quadratic formula. Bye, guys.